Statistics South Africa published the results of the second quarter's labour force survey, and the unemployment rate is up. The unemployment rate makes the headlines, but let's start with the employed. Of the people who have a job, 56% work in the formal sector and 19% in the informal sector. Informal means firms with less than 5 people who are not registered for income tax or VAT. By industry, most informal jobs are in construction, trade, which includes the hospitality industry, and also transport. Civil servants are 13% of the employed, and the majority work for provincial departments. Then 7% of the people who are employed are in private households and 6% in agriculture. What's interesting to note is what happened over time. Since the inception of the quarterly labour force survey in 2008, employment in the domestic trade sector has hardly grown at all. Jobs were lost in manufacturing and construction. There was some growth in employment in finance, general government and community services, and transport. There was a little bit of employment growth in agriculture and mining. The unemployment rate, according to the narrow definition, stands at 33.5%, up from 32.9% in the first quarter. The narrow definition means counting people who are unemployed and actively looking for work. According to the broad definition, the unemployment rate is 42.6%, and it counts the unemployed who are actively looking for work and those that are discouraged and no longer searching. The discouraged workers are 3.17 million people. The unemployment rate for young people between 25 and 24 years old who do not work, are not in school, and are not receiving further education was 44.2%. The unemployment rate is the highest in the Eastern Cape, Northwest and Mpumalanga and Free State. Solving this problem will not be easy, but part of the solution is faster economic growth. Our economic growth stagnated since 2009, and the unemployment rate increased sharply as the labour market could not absorb new entrants. We need a growth miracle of 5 or 10 years in a row to make an unemployment rate decline. But this is only part of the story. Earlier research has shown that we have to think differently about the discouraged workers. They are disadvantaged in many ways. They lack education and skills, have very little work experience, and are often stuck in remote rural areas. They have little financial resources to search for work and limited social networks that can help. We will need additional interventions to address their challenges. Unfortunately, experts do not agree on what those interventions should look like. Should we deregulate the labour market or pay them an income grant? Should we take the jobs to them or give them a bus ticket to Johannesburg? First and foremost, the government, labour and business must now throw everything into the battle to transform the positivity that currently exists about the country into faster economic growth. Thank you for tuning into this week's edition of Economics with me, Waldo Krugell. Drop a comment or question below and join me again for the next episode as we look at news that makes our economy tick.